Why do we fail panel interviews, and how can you turn such opportunities into a job offer? Join me in this video as we highlight some of the reasons as to why candidates might fail panel interviews and what you can be able to do to turn such opportunities into job offers. Because the reason as to why we are attending interviews is because we need the job. We need to sign that letter. So you realize that when it comes to panel interviews, it is not just about you as a candidate repeating answers from the previous rounds of interviews that you have had, because probably you might have been taken through an online or a virtual interview, and then you move to the second phase where you do one-on-one, either with the HR or the immediate person you'll be reporting to. And before you are fully confirmed for the job is where now you get to meet other managers within the organization. Could be a group of 4, 5, or even more panelists in that interview room. And that is why it is not just about you repeating the previous answers from the previous round of interviews you have had, but the panel interview in itself basically tests your group dynamic skills as a candidate, how you handle pressure, and most importantly, your presence. So this is everything during the interview. Some of the reasons I'll be highlighting, probably you can resonate with some of them. I also encourage you to highlight in the comment section some of the possible reasons as to why candidates could be missing out during panel interviews. Reason number one as to why we could be failing in a panel interview is because as a candidate, you are focusing only on the person who has asked you the question. And this is where eye contact comes in handy. You realize that with panel interview, it is a must that you have to engage everyone in the panel. There is a reason as to why all of them are in that session. By the end of the day, they have to make a decision in terms of how did you fare? Are you the right fit? Are you carrying the solution to the role you're being interviewed for? So eye contact will come in handy to help you capture the attention of every panelist in the room and to make them part and parcel of the conversation. Remember, anyone in the panel that feels ignored by the candidate will definitely not be able to contribute much when they are making a decision. So you do not want to just focus on one person when you're talking, but make sure that every other person in the room is part and parcel of your conversation, and your eye contact comes in handy when it comes to that. The second possible reason as to why candidates might fail panel interviews is because as a candidate, you could be missing out on the cultural cues. What do I mean by missing out on cultural cues? It is very important that before the interview, you do your industry research, get to understand who is this potential employer, which industry or sector are they in. Is it a local organization or firm? Is it a regional organization or firm? Or is it a global or multicultural organization or firm? So that during the panel interview, you are keen enough not to miss out on the cultural cues. Questions might be asked that are testing your global mindset. And if you happen to respond with the local, by giving a local example, definitely the potential employer may not see you as the right fit for that position. In an international organization, having that global mindset is everything. And it also helps to affirm your cultural fitness for the position that you're being interviewed for. So if you are watching this video and you're preparing for a panel interview, always find out, is it a local organization? Is it an international global organization? And work on your global mindset as part of the preparation. The third reason as to why we could possibly be failing in a panel interview, even after doing so well on an online session or an one-on-one session, is because we run out of steam as candidates. Now, with panel interviews, sometimes it can stretch from between 30 minutes to even up to 1 hour. And as a candidate, you are expected to maintain the same kind of energy and steam that you started with right from minute one. And therefore, it is important for you as a candidate to ensure that you do not drop your energy along the way. Sometimes candidates start very well with the right kind of energy, exuding the right kind of confidence and enthusiasm. Before you know it, along the way, because of the so many questions that are being asked, they feel they are under a lot of pressure and they drop the ball in between. And whenever you drop the energy midway, you are this is definitely affecting how the panelists are perceiving you as a person, even in terms of situations that you may encounter while on the job that requires you to maintain the steam and the momentum throughout. You are basically communicating to them that in such kind of situations, you are most likely to drop the ball in between. And you don't want them to judge you in such a manner. And that is why it is important to maintain the right energy and the steam throughout for the 45 minutes or for the 1 hour that the interview session will be running. The last possible reason as to why we could be failing in a panel interview is because we focus more on the answer and not on the delivery. As candidates, we know that you probably might have spent sleepless nights doing your research, studying the job description, aligning your expertise, your competencies with the duties and responsibilities in the JD. And when you walk into an interview room, you just want to pour out the answers or the responses, the examples that you've prepared to give. When it comes to panel interviews, apparently, we are not just, or the panel is not just judging you based on your knowledge or your technical expertise, but even how you deliver that answer. Delivery is everything when it comes to panel interviews. It is only through delivery that we'll be able to assess your tone, we'll be able to assess your confidence level, and we will even be able to assess how you carry yourself as a person. So with panel interviews, it is not just about what you say, but it is also about how you say it. Now, before we come to the close of this video, how can you turn this into an offer? How can you turn this opportunity into an offer? What is it that you can be able to do over and above the reasons that we have shared to help you stand out so that you sign that job offer at the end of the session? Number one, work towards engaging the entire panel. Very important. Don't only focus on the person who has asked you the question. When you are responding, ensure that every person in the room is fully engaged. Look through the room even as you are answering your questions. By this, you are not only connecting with the person who has asked the question, but you are connecting with the entire group and not just one person. Also, as you prepare, think beyond local, depending on the position you're being interviewed for and the industry or the sector in which that organization is in and how wide they have spread their wings or their arms. Think beyond local. Give examples that touches on global awareness and not just local awareness of what that organization does. And especially when you're being interviewed by multinational organizations, they are very keen on your global mindset. So you don't just want to think local, but also spread examples across global awareness. And lastly, practice with stamina even as you work towards asking thoughtful questions towards the end. Remember, that last impression is equally as important as the first impression that you give. So as part of your preparation, practice for stamina. You may want to seek for an interview coaching session. Ensure that you inform the coach to make the session last for about 45 to 1 hour of just asking questions so that you ensure that you maintain the right kind of stamina, steam, or energy that can last throughout the session. And when you are done, ask thoughtful questions. It is not just about how you started, but also how you are ending the panel interview session. So end strongly by asking thoughtful questions. Leave the interviewers wowed by your curiosity or your critical thinking approach. So in a nutshell, Sometimes we do not just fail in a panel interview because we are not qualified or because we do not have experience, but candidates do fail because they do not read the room. It is everything when it comes to panel interviews. It is not just about the pitch, but it is also about performance, and that is where delivery is. So whenever you are able to strike a balance between the two, believe you me, you will walk into that interview room feeling nervous, but by the time you're walking out of the session, you're walking out with an offer. We do encourage you to reach out to us for more personalized coaching sessions. It's one of the services that we do offer here at Corporate Staffing, and we will be glad to have a one-on-one coaching session with you just to help you understand which areas could you be lagging behind and how best can you package yourself to shine in the next interview that you will be attending. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.